I received another request for PC repair. My ninang sent me this box with computer set, hoping that I can fix whatever issues this PC have. This unit will be used for my cousin's e-learning. Hi, Jver here, and for today's video, I'm going to repair an old PC with Pentium 4 processor for e-learning. And this PC will run basic apps for the students coping with the new normal for 2020. Before we proceed to the actual repair, let's check what's inside the box. We have some power and VGA cables, PS2 keyboard and mouse. As you can see, the keyboard and mouse is a complete nostalgia. If you are batang 90s, remember your elementary computer class using these just to type your name. A 19-inch HP monitor and a full tower HP compact system unit powered with Intel Pentium 4 HD paired with Windows XP. The monitor does not work. I believe this was damaged while transporting. It came from a box without any additional protection, transporting by a tricycle. Maybe that's the reason why it's not working anymore. Regarding the mouse and keyboard, I would suggest that they rather buy USB type, which is available online for a bargain price. I turned on the system unit and connected to my own monitor. On the startup, it greeted me with an error message which says error non-system disk error or disk error. You can simply Google it to check the reason, but in my case, for a no-brainer, it simply says that the unit having problem with the disk or the hard drive. With a single screw on the side, I can open the unit and check for any parts that causing the problem aside from the hard drive. I connected and disconnected the cable from the motherboard to hard disk, hoping to fix the issue. But nothing happens, so my next step is to replace the hard drive. Luckily, I found a spare from my old PC. I can now check if there is any changes using my old hard drive. The hard drive works fine. The only issue with my hard drive that I found is that it was running with Windows 10, which is not compatible with my ninang's PC. Before I close the lid, the system needs some cleaning. I started brushing off the dust and replacing the thermal paste to boost its performance. I cleaned that 1 gig RAM with a rubber eraser. I removed the broken hard disk and disconnect the outdated floppy disk, which is already discontinued this 2020. I tried to boot the unit to check if everything's good, and when I confirm that there is no hardware issues, let's proceed to the next step, which is formatting. This time, I will use the operating system Windows 7 since most of the apps will not work on Windows XP. Using an empty USB drive, I used the open source application Rufus to create a bootable USB drive. After a couple of minutes, I can now start formatting. First, I tried to install Windows 7, but still having the same issue. So, I actually used all my USB drive, 4 to be exact, that I suspected why the problem is still insists. Maybe the USB ports are broken, or maybe the USB drives are new that there is no way that the old system can read it. I also tried to find CD-ROM for Windows 7, but knowing the year 2020, you cannot buy one today. I almost out of any ideas on formatting this unit until I realized maybe the OS is the problem. So I tried to use the same OS with a different bit, this time 32-bit. And it works. Finally, I can now proceed. Formatting a PC with Windows 7 takes at least less than an hour. The only apps that comes to my mind which are good for e-learning are Microsoft Office, Google Chrome, and Zoom. That's why I installed that first. Now, let's check the specification using CPU-Z, another open source application to gather information on some of the main devices of your system like CPU, RAM, motherboard chipset, and other hardware features. As you can see, we have a single core paired with 2 threads. Even the most basic app will not work properly. A gig of RAM, which is good enough to open two tabs and impossible to multitask. They will not have any issues with the 250 gig that I installed since everything is on cloud right now and they just need a Wi-Fi dongle for wireless connectivity. If you found some old PC hanging around your attic, no matter how outdated the specs, try repairing it and see its work. If there are no major defects like motherboard, there are so many cheap parts and maybe this PC can help you in your e-learning. Or you just give it to less fortunate. You save the environment on reducing electronic waste and you help someone. I'm just giving this PC 2 star over 5 because of its poor performance. You can open a Word file and edit some documents, type some important school activity, but I doubt it can play videos higher than 720p. I can't even play Chess 3D smoothly, which is a default Windows 7 games pre-installed because there is no video card that helps the one-core CPU. I can list a ton of things this PC cannot do, but for me to see it works better than having nothing, all I can ask is patience while using this device. They also need to prepare that anytime this PC will come to an end. Since I understand we are on the pandemic right now, upgrading is not a priority. I did my best to make this system unit usable. If you are tight on budget, my recommendation is to build a system unit that has second parts for a cheap price. If you are interested, you can check my other videos regarding this matter.